We'll be back this Sunday with more parties on our station Legends Leaving. We've put together this video to honor the famous stars who died today, June 3rd, 2024. Legendary people who made important contributions to their works and who sadly have died today. We're sorry for the family and friends lost. Peace out. First, though, we'd love it if you showed your love by liking this video and following the station. By subscribing, we'll talk about some bad news about the actor Richard Chamberlain in this video. Ruth Maria Kubicek, whose name is linked to German film, made a lasting mark on the entertainment business. She was born in Czechoslovakia on August 2nd, 1931. Her early life was marked by the chaos that caused her family to flee to Cothen. Ruth Maria followed her dreams at the University for Theater and Music in Halle, and then at the famous German Theater Institute in Weimar. She loved the arts and wanted to be an actress. Her path as an actress was a long and successful one, with many well-known parts that made her career. Ruth Maria was also very successful in her personal life. She raised a family with her son Guts Friedrich and was in a relationship with Wolfgang Rademann from 1976 until he died in 2016. Over the course of several decades, Ruth Maria Kubicek captivated crowds with her performances. The last movie she was in was the comedy Frau Ella, which came out in 2013. It was a proper farewell for an actress who had given so much to her job. She decided to stay out of the public eye after this last movie and focus on painting, which is her other passion. Even after she moved out of the press, her artistic projects continued to show how creative she was. In a sad turn of events, Ruth Maria Kubicek died in Switzerland on June 1st, 2024, from effects from pneumonia. Ruth Maria Kubicek died at the age of 92. She was a brilliant artist who worked on both film and painting. Those who loved her work will always remember her. The world of music will never be the same without Harry van Hoof. He was a famous Dutch conductor, songwriter, and music arranger. He was born on March 16, 1943, and throughout his career, he did amazing things and made important advances to the music business. Many great productions were made possible by Van Hoof's skill and hard work. His own production company shows how entrepreneurial and musically gifted he was. Sophie by Johnny Lyon was his first big hit as an arranger, and it set the stage for his long and successful career. As a well-known figure in the Eurovision Song Contest, Harry van Hoof led the Dutch team 15 times, from 1972 to 1994, showing how influential and knowledgeable he is about the competition. There was a clear break in Harry van Hoof's personal life, but it went hand in hand with his work life. He was separated from singer Tree Dobbs. The two of them used to be together, and their music was mixed together. Even though he had problems in his personal life, Van Hoof never stopped loving what he did. Many of the arrangements and compositions he left behind have had a lasting effect on both listeners and musicians. The sad news is that Harry van Hoof died on June 1st, 2024, at the age of 81, after effects from a long illness. His death marks the end of an age in Dutch music, but his work will continue to inspire and affect musicians and composers in the years to come. Famous French actor Philippe Leroy has wowed viewers with his roles in more than 150 films since 1960. He was born in Paris on October 15, 1930, into a well-known family with well-known relatives. During his early years, he worked on an ocean ship and lived in New York City for a year. He joined the French Foreign Legion in 1953 and was a paratrooper in the French Indochina War and a second lieutenant in the Algerian War. The Chevalier of the Legion d'Honneur, the Croix de Guerre, and the Cross for Military Valor were given to him. He retired as a captain. Leroy's first movie role was in Jacques Becker's 1960 prison drama, The Hole, which earned him praise around the world and a nod for Best Foreign Actor at the BAFTAs. He moved to Italy in 1962 and played important parts in Italian films, such as the main role in The Life of Leonardo da Vinci, for which he was nominated for an Emmy in primetime. In 1976, he played Yanis de Gomer on the TV show Sandokan. He has also worked with famous directors such as Jean-Luc Godard, Jacques Tourette, and Dario Argento. A writer from Italy named Silvia Tortora married Leroy in 1990. They had 2 children together, Philippe and Michelle. He also had a daughter from a past marriage named Philippine Leroy Beaulieu. Leroy kept wanting to jump out of planes, and for his 80th birthday in 2010, he did so during the Rome-Paris show. He was a special reporter for 12 days in Afghanistan with Italian paratroopers in 2011. He was 81 years old at the time. It was normal for Philippe Leroy Beaulieu to die in Rome on June 1st, 2024. He was 93 years old. His amazing life and work have had a lasting effect on French and Italian film, inspiring artists and moviegoers all over the world. Pedro Messone Rivas was a famous folk singer and actor. He was born on June 6, 1934 in Temuco, Chile, grew up in Valparaiso, and was the son of a business boss. He became friends with Luis Urquide while he was a student at the Seminario San Rafael, and the 2 of them started the neo-folk group Los Cuatro Cuartos. His love of the arts brought him to Santiago, where he started playing with an amateur theater group. It was in the play La Pergola de las Flores with the Teatro Ensayo de la Universidad Católica that he became known as a professional actor. In 1964, Messone had to choose between acting and singing, so he quit his group and briefly joined Los de las Condes. Their song El Corralero became a big hit. His career as a single artist took off in 1966 with the album El Solitario, which had hits like Pie Mar Adentro, El Vaquero, and El Cigarrito. Messone's skills were seen at the Vina del Mar International Song Festival more than once. In 1982, La Tejedora became his last big hit. Messone was also known for his political views. He backed Augusto Pinochet and pushed for a yes vote in the 1988 Chilean national referendum. He ran as mayor of Buen in 1992 with the Independent Democratic Union Party, but did not win. In 2018, he was given the Premio a la Música Nacional Presidente de la República for his services to Chilean music. He died of natural causes on June 1st, 2018, when he was 88 years old. His influence on Chilean folk music and theater is still felt today, and fans and fellow artists alike honor him. Margit Carstensen was born on February 29, 1940 in Kiel, Germany. She was a famous actress who worked in both theater and films. She was especially known for her work with director Rainer Werner Fassbinder. Carstensen grew up in Kiel as the daughter of a doctor. She studied acting at the Hochschule Frankfurt am Main. In her early stage career, she performed in several German towns. In 1969, she became famous across the country at the Theater am Godeplatz in Bremen, where she worked with Fassbinder for the first time. Carstensen's roles in Fassbinder's The Coffee Shop, Bremen, Freedom, and Nora Helmer were shown on TV, which raised her reputation. From 1973 to 1976, she played in Darmstadt and then at the Schauspielbühne in West Berlin. In 1982, she moved to Stuttgart to work with director Hans-Günther Heim. She went on to perform at the Munich Kammerspiel and other major German theater events. In the late 1980s, Carstensen became friends with directors Werner Schroeder, Christoph Schlingensief, and Leander Hausmann. In 1995, she moved to Bochum to keep working with Hausmann. In other countries, she was in Andrew Zowski's Possession 1981 and Agnieszka Holland's Angry Harvest 1985, which was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film. Some of her best-known Fassbinder pictures are The Bitter Tears of Petra von Kant, 1972, Martha, 1974, Fear of Fear, 1975, and Berlin Alexanderplatz, 1980, 100 Years of Adolf Hitler, 1989, and Terror, 2001. Double 92 were 2 books that Carstensen worked on with Schlingensief. In 1999, Hausmann directed Sun and Ali, and in 2000, Romuald Karmichar directed Manila. In 2002, Chris Kraus directed Sherbin Tanz, and in 2004, Oscar Roller directed Agnias and His Brothers. In 2007, Della Buck directed Hands Off Mississippi. She kept working in TV until 2016, when she made a turn in the show Tatort. Carstensen won many awards for her work, including the German Film Award Gold in 1973, the Bavarian Film Award in 2002, and the Gutscore Prize in 2019 for her lifetime of achievements. Took her own life on June 1st, 2018 in Heid, Schleswig-Holstein. Margit Carstensen was 83 years old. She left a lasting mark on German theater and film with powerful acts and a big impact on the movie business. Cynthia Weil was a famous American singer-songwriter who was born on October 18, 1940 in New York City. She and her husband, Barry Mann, had a big impact on rock and roll. Weil grew up in Manhattan in a strict Jewish home. She studied to be an actress and dancer at first, but writing songs became her true calling. She married Mann in August 1961, and the two of them became famous at the Brill Building, working with artists like Carole King and Burt Bacharach at the same time. Hits like On Broadway, You've Lost That Love, and Feeling Kicks, and We Gotta Get Out of This Place were written by Weil and Mann. A lot of their songs were about deep issues like racial and economic inequality. For example, Only in America was about segregation, and We Gotta Get Out of This Place was a chant for Vietnam soldiers and anti-war protesters. Because of how much they changed music, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010 and the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1987. Weil and Mann won Grammys in 1988 for their song Somewhere Out There, which was from the cartoon movie An American Tail, their musical review show. They wrote that, started airing in 2004. Mann sang and Weil talked about their songs. The greatest award from the Songwriters Hall of Fame, the Johnny Mercer Award, was given to them in 2011. Weil's first book, The Mystery I'm Glad I Did, which came out in 2015, opened up new artistic possibilities for her. She became a legend in the music business even more when she was admitted into the Women's Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2023. Cindy Weil died of natural causes on June 1st, 2018, at her home in Beverly Hills, California. She was 82 years old. Her lasting impact as a key figure in rock and roll songwriting continues to move and inspire people all over the world. Recently, there were a lot of false rumors on Twitter that star Richard Chamberlain had died, which made a lot of fans worry, but it has been proven that Chamberlain is still living and well. Richard Chamberlain was born on March 31st, 1934 in Beverly Hills, California. In the 1960s, his part as Dr. Kildare made him famous all over the world. Because of his good looks and skills, he became a TV star early on. He continued to do well with memorable parts in Shogun 1980 and The Thornbirds 1983, for which he won a Golden Globe. Chamberlain was very flexible, and he worked on projects like The Towering Inferno 1974 and The Last Wave 1977. Even though he has stepped away from the spotlight, he still does charitable work and sometimes acts in plays. Chamberlain's life is quieter now that he is 90, but he is still involved in the arts and inspires people who want to be artists. The recent death rumors were quickly dispelled, letting his fans enjoy his lasting legacy. Chamberlain still has a big effect on the business, and his journey goes on.